So for folks who are new, 1 Million Cups is a national organization. Let's see. I slide to move forward. I may need you to click on it and drive, yeah, just in case. Although now that you're out of the way of the USB port, maybe it'll work. Everybody's joining at 9:01.
Pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you do it from that computer? No.
Good morning, everybody. The Kauffman Foundation is a national organization. So what's fantastic is it has over 100 chapters across the country, all focused on helping those in entrepreneurship have access to more education about reducing risk and helping them succeed. Entrepreneur journey is not an easy one, so it's all about increasing our odds of success. So welcome, visitors. I think we have a couple of new folks. I think if you wouldn't mind raising your hand digitally, or I'll just call on you, Lola, to get us started. If you want to introduce yourself, that would be great. And then we'll have go next.
Sure. Hi, I'm Lola Lombard. I live in Arlington, and I'm happy to be here today with all of you. I have an entrepreneurial streak for my entire career, but all of it bases in that I'm an artist and designer. I am currently running two businesses. One is apparel, which you can see behind me. I'm a surface designer, so I make very colorful athletic apparel and also one-of-a-kind kind of gala clothing. I'm wearing one of my prints right now. And then I'm also doing professional organization of mostly of creative spaces, but home, business, any kind of spaces where we need to improve functionality and enjoyment.
Fantastic. What I heard was you'll help me declutter my closet so I can get gala dresses from you.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect. All right, Chris, if you'd introduce yourself again.
Hi, I'm Chris Flood. I generate revenue for organizations, and I'm currently in transition. So a couple of things, looking at the opportunity of perhaps going out on my own in that capacity, and also very interested in the topic and perhaps volunteering with CNM. So here to explore a little bit more about that.
Fantastic. We're thrilled to have you here. Such a great day to be here. So thank you. Some people are so loud, you can't take them anywhere.
Sorry about that.
It's all right, John Norris. We adore you so much. We'll endure. Thank you, Chris. And Mariam, please introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning. I'm Mariam Nusrat, and I'm the founder of Brashna.io. It's a game maker platform which empowers educators and small businesses to make their own mini video games without any coding, no design skills, and for as low as $1,000. So basically, think about consumer-based products and brands. If you're a bakery or you're a shoe designer or something, you can make your own mini video games and then put them as URLs on QR codes or in social media. So these are bite-sized branded video games that can be created. It's kind of like the Canva for gaming. I'm based out of Vienna, Virginia. Yeah, I've been doing this for the past 3 years. I used to be an economist at the World Bank, and now I'm a gaming founder. We have 180,000 users, 2 million game players, and we've raised seed funding from investors like Paris Hilton, Randy Zuckerberg, Bill Ackman's family office, and we're ramping up for our Series A. So super excited to be here.
Well, you're in the right room. We have several millionaires in here. We don't, but we're excited to hear about you. We'd love to have you come back and present. Love what you've built. Congratulations. Good luck. For folks who are, again, new, if you want to scan that QR code, you can check in and just let us know that you're a guest. Let's 1 Million Cups headquarters know so we can get awesome swag like coffee cups, things like that for our presenters. This is all volunteer run. Our goal is to get up to 30 attendees. So thanks for helping us start to hit those numbers. We do have several people in the room, which is exciting, but otherwise scan the QR code. You'll see it later as well. If you put your phone on mute, it will help. All right, next slide. Yeah, John Foster's too busy laughing at John Norris.
Should be.
All right, our organizing team, you can see us on the left. We've had a couple of people move. One person move and one person need to step away. So we would love to have volunteers on the organizer front. Right now, if we battled with our brand ambassadors, it'd be a draw. And that's just not where we want to be. We do have several of our brand ambassadors here today. Did Linder, John Foster, of course, Reggie Holmes. Thanks for being here. We're thrilled to have you. If you'd like to be an organizer or an ambassador, let us know. We're happy to answer questions. And it's a very simple thing. Many hands make light work. Two of the organizations we collaborate with a lot, Veterans Growing America and Fairfax County EDA. So definitely check out their organizations. Veterans Growing America has a location near Woodbridge, and they also are opening a second storefront in Maryland. So if you're looking for handcrafted stuff as we head into the holidays in a couple of months, definitely a great place to check it out, or just unique gifts for any time. FCEDA has lots of events tailored to entrepreneurs. What you'll see later is tons of events coming up if you're interested in doing work with GovCon sector. So stay tuned for that. Next slide. As I mentioned before, this is a national organization, but we exist locally. So one of the things that's helpful, Mariam and others, is to know that you can actually present or attend any 1 Million Cups nationwide. Obviously, they have to be virtual, but if you're trying to launch into a new market, this can be a great way to virtually show up in that market, ask for help, and get feedback. So just something to think about. This is about presentations, not pitches. So we're not about raising funds, but we are about raising awareness about your company. And most importantly, think about like a mastermind. So every week we're here meeting in hybrid the first Wednesday of every month, virtually the rest of the month on Wednesdays. And it's all about authentic connections. So it is run by business leaders for the business community. And it's very inclusive. So we love every kind of business, every kind of demographic. We've had people present who have an idea and just want to get feedback. And we have people who've come back 5 years into their business post-COVID and they want to pivot and they want to get input or insights. So next slide. Today, Mason Enterprise Center. Eddie, do you want to come up and talk about Mason Enterprise Center? Normally I do it, but you're going to do a much better job.
Thanks, Jen. Good morning, everybody. Mason Enterprise Center is a traditional business incubator. We're the flagship here of our 5 locations is in Fairfax City. We have a preference for technology companies and technology supporting organizations, but there's a lot we can do with companies in every stage of their life cycle. We're always looking for good innovators to work with. We'd love to talk to you if you're interested in learning more about the program. You can reach out to me direct at ehill25@gmu.edu or give us a buzz at 703-277-7000. Thanks.
Sure.
Franchise Select is our coffee sponsor today. Alex Matini is someone I'd recommend reaching out to. He's traveling today, but he'll be with us the rest of the month. If you're interested in learning about franchises or starting one, he is where I would start and reach out to. And Eddie is going to put his email and contact info in chat. Speaking of chat, what I would recommend, put your name and contact info in there, put a link to your website. If you have events coming up, any of that, please drop it in chat. We save chat later. You can save chat later and make sure you retain all of the awesome thoughts and insights. How this meeting works, if we go to the next slide, we will kick off with our presenter today, which is Debbie. We're thrilled to have you here. And she'll have 8 to 10 minutes to present. So we'll try to wrap up the presentation by 9:20 and spend the rest of the meeting asking lots of hard, tough questions, but more importantly, trying to help her have new ideas, different ideas for how to increase awareness and answer the challenge question. And then we'll wrap up a few minutes later. So John Foster is going to be our moderator today. So once we're done with the presentation, he'll make sure to call on you. You can unmute, ask your question, give some insight, share expertise. Let's just keep it short for Debbie when you're answering, but also for folks who are providing input. Shorter it is, the more we can get through ideas and content. What I would recommend is just stay positive. I know this is a great group. I've never heard anybody say that's a bad idea. We do make fun of all of the Johns in the room, but that's pretty much it. So keep it positive, share ideas, build on ideas. That's always a great thing to do as well. If you have more than one idea, Share your thought, come back later and unmute and raise your hand and share another thought. And with that, I'm gonna have you come up here. Welcome to Debbie from Career Network Ministry, and you're going to click slides.
Hi, I'd like to thank 1 Million Cups today for allowing me to acquaint you with Career Network Ministry, or as we refer to it, CNM. We are going to share a little bit today about who we are and what we do, who we do it for, as well as seek input from you as to how we can move forward and grow our organization. I'm Debbie Replogle, and I'm the Executive Program Director for CNM, as we all refer to it as, and I've been there for 9 years now. Let me tell you a little bit about who we are. We are an all-volunteer organization. We are based in Vienna, Virginia, but however, since COVID, we are basically virtual right now. And we are dedicated to equipping individuals with the essential job search skills and practical resources, as well as providing the emotional and spiritual support that you need when you want to complete successfully your job search. And if you'll do the next slide, John. This is how we do it. This is what we offer. And I was amazed the first time that I went to CNM, because I, like many other volunteers, went to CNM as a job seeker first. In fact, you'll find that that's the majority of our volunteers. And our volunteers are also pretty much long-term. We have some people that have been at CNM volunteering for over 20 years, believe it or not. Once people come and see what we do, they become involved and invested in our mission. And if I can go back to the slide for just a moment. My slides are gone. I can talk without them, but I would hope we could see them. Okay. We basically offer a very comprehensive program. We now are both virtual and in person. We offer anywhere from 11 to 12 virtual workshops on job search skills every week. We also offer in-person meetings that occur the second and fourth Tuesdays here in the DMV area. We have expert speakers. Everybody is one that has, go back to the other one, if you can. Everyone has professional expertise in what they address us on. And we also have developed small virtual accountability groups. We are reaching far beyond our local area. We have a ton of practical resources. We have people that meet one-on-one and give you personalized guidance. And most of all, we give you encouragement, because if you've ever been in a job search or a career transition, you know that that's one of the most important things that you can have. Next slide, please. We will serve anybody that is in a job search, anybody who's unemployed, underemployed, returning to the workforce, starting the workforce for the first time, as well as changing careers. And we do it with caring support. It's true we're a ministry. However, we serve everyone and we're totally free. We have people of all faiths and no faiths. So we're all inclusive. John, would you, next one? When I was asked what differentiates CNM, I would have to say it's 3 things. First is our approach. We like to help the entire person, the entire job seeker. We want to help you practically by giving you the skills that you need for today's job market, because if you've looked for a job recently, you realize that it's all changed. And we also want to make a personal connection with every single job seeker, one that's meaningful for them. And we also create a caring community. Job searching basically sucks, if you'll pardon my language. And it really can be lonely. And you need a group of people that you can talk with, that you can get advice from, and that understand where you are. And most importantly, like I said, we are all inclusive, we're completely free, and we're open to anybody. Next slide. I'd like to tell you a little bit about C&M and how it came to be. C&M did start in a basement of a church. It was very few volunteers, and it was basically a group of job seekers that sat in a circle and shared their elevator pitch. Well, it kind of blossomed once the 2008 recession hit. In fact, we grew to serving over 150 people each Tuesday evening. We had a team of 100 volunteers, as it took 30 volunteers to run each meeting on Tuesday. When you came to our meetings, you could have a choice of attending 7 to 9 workshops. We also had a featured guest speaker. And during that time period, we wrote a large job search manual, and we started giving individual consultations to everyone that came. And we were totally in person until COVID hit. And then, like many other groups, we transferred to an all virtual model. And by March the 13th of 2020, we served everybody across the nation. In fact, we have had participants from 40 states and, believe it or not, 19 foreign countries. We also decided that since COVID was so isolating, we developed small job search accountability groups that met once a week for a 10-week session. And they were led by two experienced facilitators. Most of our facilitators come from the HR profession as well as the recruiting profession. And we also developed our own website. Next, John. The current programs that we have right now is a three-pronged approach. We have our C&M online, and we meet online every week. We run, as I've said before, about 11 workshops. They're all different at different times and on different days, so that we can meet the job seeker that is unemployed and at home, or somebody who is employed and looking for another job or to change careers. We have interactive events with nationally recognized speakers. In fact, we have had a number of speakers that have been recognized by LinkedIn as the top job search experts to follow. And it's been really great to be able to offer that high caliber guest speaker. And most of our guest speakers offer to help anyone in the meeting individually, which is something that not a lot of people get access to. As I said, we've started to meet back in person with C&M Live. We have bi-monthly meetings at a local church in McLean, Virginia. And basically, it is a program that you can attend and get one-on-one individual counseling, resume reviews, LinkedIn profile reviews, interview prep, career counseling, and we also offer prayer. And we have expert guest speakers that come and share their knowledge and expertise with all of the participants. And we've also really developed quite a robust program for our job search teams. And as I said, they're small, they're virtual. Our leaders come from all across the country. Each team has 2 leaders, and the group meets every week for 10-week sessions, and we offer those sessions 3 times a year. John, the next one. Right now, the marketing channels that C&M use are Meetup. In fact, we have 12,159 members on our Meetup platform. For a long time, that was the only platform that we used. However, it was very limited, and it was really not suited to all that we did. We also have a LinkedIn group page, which I invite everybody to take a look at. where we post all of our meetings. We also post them on LinkedIn, and we have 968 members on that. You will also find open positions listed, as well as job search articles and other discussions that take place between experts and our members. And we're very proud of the fact that in November, we launched the first ever C&M website, www.careernetworkministry.com. And just recently, we have up to date 1,326 members, and we're growing daily with that. The website has really helped us as far as being able to offer the same resources to everyone virtually that they would have received in person. In fact, when you attended the in-person meetings, everybody received a copy of our job search manual. And now you can get it online. There are recordings of past presentations. There are all kinds of tip sheets, forms, anything that you could need to successfully help you steer your job search. Now, that brings us to what our challenge question is. We meet the need of job seekers, whether they're in the local DMV area or whether they're across the U.S. or even whether they're outside of the U.S. But we need to be able to address the challenge of increasing awareness of and publicizing our events and services in order to grow our membership and expand our volunteer team. As I said before, when we met in person only, we had a volunteer team of 100 people. We now have a volunteer team of about 30 people. And since we had a hiatus of in-person meetings, a lot of people don't know that we have started meeting again in person, and we need help in being able to get out the word. In addition, we have lots of programs that we would like to implement, and we'd like to grow some more of our offerings. And so therefore, we need more volunteers. And a lot of the volunteers, as I've mentioned before, come from the job search participants. Once they get a job, they want to give back and extend to other people the same type of caring and resources that they received from us. And you may ask what kind of volunteers we need. We need anybody and everybody, anyone who's willing to donate a small amount of time. I've listed a few of the areas here. We need help with administrative tasks, communication, outreach, social media, HR professionals, recruiters, guest speakers, and even people to help us with our website, as it was developed by two volunteers, myself and another lady, who really were not experts in website development and marketing, of course, branding. So that's our challenge, is that we need to let more people know about our services and our programs so that we can serve more job seekers. Because whether the job market is good or whether it is bad, when you need to get a job, when you are making a career transition, it is very personal. And we want to help everyone who is in that situation so that they have the tools they need and they don't have to go it alone.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, Debbie, thank you so much for a great presentation. So we were going to open it up for questions, and just a reminder, keep the questions short, and it works on both sides. So Debbie, we want to give you as much opportunity to hear what people have to say and answer the questions. So with that, any questions out there? Raise your virtual hand, and we got John Norris in the back.
Hi, John.
Hey there. So when you have your meetings, do you reach out to employers that are actively hiring and ask them to come and maybe speak or participate in your event? That way, right there, they actually can meet candidates and talk to them, and even if it's something that they may not be looking for, maybe offer career advice as well or something. I mean, it seems to me if you could bring together, obviously, employers with people seeking employment, you would obviously create pretty good excitement about those events.
Thank you. That's true. When we met in person, we did have a event called Meet the Company, and we would have people to do that. But since we've gone virtual and the numbers of our volunteers have decreased, then we were not really having time to do that. But that's a great idea. I would really like to see us do that.
Like I volunteered at George Mason University and I helped students with a resume workshop, used to do interview workshops. And I'm saying, reach out to those same employers and say, could you come in and give a 15-minute presentation on resume writing for IT jobs, or could you come in and offer interview questions or skills for these people? So you're bringing, again, the actual employer in.
That's a great idea. We do have general resume classes. We do have in-person and virtual resume reviews, but it is important to be able to gear your resume to a certain industry. That's a great idea.
But they're not employers.
No, they're not employers. They're usually HR professionals
Right.
and recruiters. And we do hold a quarterly recruiter panel where we have recruiters come in and answer questions for people. But I like the idea of reaching out to employers. We would ultimately like to be able to post jobs on our website.
All right, we've got John Rutenberg. John.
Hi, John.
So I think all of us are in awe at the moment of your presentation and of your mission and your accomplishments. So thank you. And it's just consistent with knowing John Foster, who among his excellent traits can flip out the different PowerPoint slides, and he did it all on his own, which is
nice.
But going back to the employers, as John Norse mentioned, and your volunteers, the alumni, I think is a very important strategy. I don't know how many people you can apply to outreach, but your story is amazing. And there are folks in the room who understand marketing much better than I, but with very brief video clips of your success stories, very quickly you would be hitting on the heartstrings, right, of people who have feeling, right? And the corporate world. Are you in Metro DC, Deb?
We originally started meeting at McLean Bible Church in McLean, Virginia. And so we don't really have a physical office, so to speak. Basically, it's my dining room table or the guest room. And so, but right now we are all virtual. And we've helped thousands, over 10,000 people land their next career opportunity. We have not done video yet. That's a great idea. We do post when people get a job, congratulations, and we ask them to come back and give what we call a victory lap to our meetings, but haven't done video yet. That's a good idea. Thank you.
Okay, just because you can really get the heartstrings of these people. Thank you so much. Other people are up. Good.
Thank you, John Rutenberg. Melinda.
I want to share something. Fantastic presentation, by the way. I really liked it. I was involved in a group when I lived in Chicago called Gray Hair Management. And it was for anybody basically over 40. But what I liked is that they would have us sit, and you could do this with breakout sessions by industry.
Yes.
And the thing about that was when you go by industry, and this could be something you could launch, so you could make a big deal about it with the breakout sessions by industry and ask people what industries they're in. You would go around the table or the room or whatever and tell everybody very quickly what you were looking for, who you wanted to meet in what kinds of companies in your industry. So somebody might meet me who knows marketing people in a company, but I could get them to the company at least to open a door and make things happen. So when I heard the other discussion, I thought, hey, what about launching something like that, making a big deal, having a launch?
That would be great.
Grab interest and get your key people to help you build your industries or talk to me or whatever, but that might give you something special to run with immediately to continue the online.
Yep.
So, I'm sorry. Next person, please.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Miriam. You there, Miriam?
Yep.
There
Hi.
we go.
I mean, once again, Debbie, echoing what everyone else said, great mission, love the presentation. Happy to add value and give you a free video game. I mean, here, there's videos, but also we can make video games for marketing. So happy to jump on a call and make a free bite-sized video game. Love the mission. It's very close to my heart. So would love to add value.
Thank you. I'll take you up on that offer. Believe you me.
I want to help you guys.
Thank you. That's what we need. We need community involvement because networking is the one thing that we preach because as we all know, most jobs are gotten through networking and we encourage our people to do it. But this would be wonderful for us. Thank you.
Go Jen, right behind me.
Sure. I don't know if folks can hear me, so I'll come up here.
I'll move.
But we can stay in the same box, maybe.
Maybe not,
Maybe
not
turn off
really.
this. I think the question I had was around using LinkedIn advertising campaigns. Do you have a marketing budget for that type of a thing? Like $250? Like, is that doable? Do you have money
Yeah,
to
we
work
could
with?
we could do that. We are funded solely by a benefactor,
Okay.
but with starting to the nonprofit process, yes,
Okay.
we could do that, and at very little cost. It sounds like so. Yeah,
I think having all of the volunteers who work with you add C&M to their LinkedIn profiles, so you get more visibility. But also having a LinkedIn ad campaign, whether it's on a launch idea Linda had or others, or the big speakers or the big quarterly panels would be great. Also, I work with HR Alliance a lot, which is an association of HR
yeah.
professionals. So if you'd like an introduction, maybe you could be their nonprofit benefactor once you're nonprofit
That would be great.
certified.
That would, we do use LinkedIn for that, but we need, like I said, more people to help us with social media. I'm not a social media expert, so I could use all the help I could get in that area.
Perfect.
Great.
And I think James Lawson had a comment. I don't know if he wants to unmute or not.
James?
Yeah. A couple of things. It's a great presentation, Debbie, and I love the work that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
I'm getting a sense that might just be me getting a vibe a little bit that you almost feel like COVID was detrimental to what you guys, to your mission and what you were trying to do. I think it's probably the best thing that could happen. And I'll tell you why. Because what it's done is it's now allowed you to have a much larger outreach and reach way more people than you would have done had you been working in Vienna, kind of isolated a little bit. I think your challenge right now is how do we kind of make that pivot and have that outreach. But I think the mission you're on, the business you're on, is probably one that is going to could benefit highly from this pivot and this change and being virtual. But like Laura, cracking that nut is the hard part, right? Is understanding exactly how. But you've got 18,000 members so far. I mean, it's not too shabby. I would suggest to you some of the things you might want to think about when I look at your website. Support, right? You've got resources, you've got resume, you've got all these different things. If you could get those speakers back and turn that into almost like a course that you can put people through and have it on your website and have people sign in to go and take it, that allows you then to go back out and do some outreach back to them and do some maybe one-on-one training.
So actually putting a course on the website, right?
Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. And then advertise the course, have people come to the website, they'll sign in, they'll take the course. Now you can do some outreach back to them in terms of giving them sort of higher level support if indeed that's what they want. But I love what you guys are doing. I beg you, please look at it as a positive. that you now have this opportunity to go and reach 1 million more people that you can help versus the people just
Right.
within
Thank you.
DMV.
That sounds
Awesome.
great.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Scott, Scott, I think you had your hand raised. Take that.
So mine was actually very similar to what James was saying. I'd recommend putting this up as a course, even if it's just a basic course that has, 2 or 3 short videos that introduce what you do, the core of what you're trying to accomplish. And then I would supplement it with webinars where you're inviting people to continually engage. Webinars are a great tool for both recruiting volunteers and bringing people together in a way that duplicates what you were doing a little bit more in person. And that's something that you can actually advertise, right? And push out through something like Eventbrite, where, okay, I'm going to, send an invitation to my list and continue to both engage alumni as well as reach out to recruit new volunteers.
Right. That's a good idea. We try to reach out to the alumni, but once again, it's because we have a decreased volunteer team. But that sounds a great idea.
Thank you, Scott. Lola.
I was going to suggest going on different podcasts, maybe in different sectors of where people are.
Well, that's a good idea.
So I, for example, listen to a lot of arts podcasts from different designers, and people in the arts are, frequently job to job, freelancing and trying to bust that cycle. And it would be really interesting to have some of your volunteers go on to a podcast to just talk about what you're doing. And then people would then go from the podcast right to the website. It's like great free advertising. It's very personal.
That would be a super idea. Hadn't thought of that one. Yeah.
Reggie, you there?
Yes. Great presentation. Thank you. I wanted to echo what others have said about videos. I mean, that's definitely a great opportunity. I mean, all the success stories can be videos. I think people would be willing to do that and turning those written words into content that can be easily shared. I think that would be really helpful and powerful. And 2 quick things. I mean, I've been on the website and the team is, a little bit older, and I think a lot of the people that you're trying to help are younger and earlier in their career. So I would think about ways to engage some of the younger people that are just getting started in their career. Like you lead with the experience of your speakers and team, which is great. But as a younger person, like if I was in that position, it might be a little bit intimidating. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about customer journey. And I think even on the website, like one of the first things is the programs we offer. And it's a lot of stuff and it's a lot of great stuff, but I need to know where I fit. So I would consider segmenting your audiences a little bit. So people know, okay, we got your first time job seekers, fresh out of college type people. Here's your space, and this is what we offer for you. People that are returning to the job market after layoff, or maybe they've been doing their own thing for a while. Now they're going back into the job market. Like that's a very different audience than the person that's fresh out of college looking for their first opportunity.
It's true.
So I would think about how you can just create customer journeys for the different types of customers you have, and then market the programs and services, to those people. So when they come to the website, they immediately know, okay, I'm in the first time job seeker bucket. Let me go over here. So
That's
Appreciate
a
it.
wonderful idea. Thanks.
Thank you, Reggie.
Thought of that yet.
John Rutenberg.
Again, thank you, and all these amazing ideas. To build on it, And to pick up on James Lawson, you know, the pivot is to you're a national organization, whether you know it or not, regardless of where your basement was when you started, just part of the story. And zip code analysis as part of the segmentation. And where are your concentrations when you go to those 18,000 followers, members, your audience? They come in all different sizes and shapes. And therefore you might require over time multiple messages based on the demographic, the psychographic, the geographic. So there are a lot of resources in the room that are available to you. You might have to just push Foster around a little bit. You know, I'm sure you're eminently capable of that, but we welcome it.
Thanks, John.
That's
But
a
zip code
great idea.
analysis, yeah.
We do run a list of where everybody is from, and we're able to do that now on our website. We weren't able to do it on Meetup, but yeah, that's a great idea.
All right. Melinda.
Okay, I just wrote another idea after John said that. SurveyMonkey or Google, send it out to everybody, ask them a bunch of questions, and it'll come back and give you all their demographics immediately. So you can get that stuff. I also put in the chat SHRM, SHRM, and the other part is HR managers in companies locally. Now there are local SHRM groups that meet locally. Maybe you can get in front of the groups because you're getting in front of the HR managers, and you can offer that so that if they're laying somebody off, or if they're looking for somebody, because that will start the recruiting part from your end. If folks want to post jobs with you guys, you can set up, you know, another section on your website for the jobs, and that's a natural roll into. There are also some other groups. I know there's a group out here that does things in marketing, advertising, promotions, and that whole arena, and they're fairly active. I will look for them for you because I used to know who they were, but I don't anymore. But there may be things that you can do to tie in with some of these groups as well.
Oh, that would be great. We'd love to partner with some of those
Yeah,
organizations.
there are a lot of groups that are doing things, but doing them differently. And maybe you could put a council together with these groups and be the council that makes everything happen.
That sounds interesting. Yeah.
I don't want to ignore the other John in the room. John, you got a question?
Oh, no, I was gonna make a comment.
Yeah.
The fact that you launched this during a recessionary time where obviously unemployment was high. Clearly, people were gonna be more engaged because more people had lost jobs, unemployment was higher. Obviously, I think unemployment was creeping up a little bit, but the point is, you have people that are employed. So the fact that now they may be looking for other jobs, but obviously when people are unemployed, they're spending more time looking for jobs. And I think, you know, one mistake that you would make is to try to say we need to get back to something that, again, was created out of recessionary times. I think James and everybody, you have more opportunities to grow the size of your footprint, which would bring in more people.
Yeah.
But I think it's unfair to compare something from 15 years ago to today.
Yeah.
And saying we used to be this, honestly, that's a narrative that just to me is indicative of the time and the events that were happening. Had you been, for example, in business after 9/11, you would have seen the same large numbers because it was a catastrophic event. People obviously lost jobs and were worried about how they're going to feed their families. So, you know, I think just looking forward in terms of all the ideas of just look forward, I think is the best advice I can give you, and stop worrying about where you've been, just focus on where you want to go.
That's a mindset that I'm trying to get everybody to adopt, because everything has changed and it keeps evolving, and we try to evolve with it. But sometimes I agree, we don't always.
Change is inevitable.
Yep. I agree. Thank you.
How about Jen Dalton? Back
Back up here to the front, just to make sure. One of the thoughts I had was around, I just changed the virtual background. when it comes to topics, I was looking at the website and programs.
Mhm.
I looked through a good chunk of them, but I think there may be topics that might be missing that would draw a bigger audience, including companies that would be hiring HR leaders, but also job seekers. Specifically around things like how do you navigate in a hybrid workforce? How do you negotiate if you are in a hybrid space, like if you're working remote, how do you manage up? How do you collaborate with your boss? There may be some things that seem like a job seeker wouldn't want to know them, but I think they would. And I think they'd be good for anybody. So it'd get you more visibility.
Yeah, that would be great.
So just a thought, things like employee benefits. What are the top benefits people want now? So I would even expand your topics to be the go-to hub for career insights, definitely job seekers. But these are also things that if you're a job seeker, you're going to need to negotiate benefits, salary, all that kind of stuff, and terms. Like, should you go into the office or not? How do you negotiate that effectively? So just a thought.
Yeah, that's good. I would like to expand our network. These are all great directions for us.
Great. Let's see. Oh, there's Reggie again. Reggie.
Yes. I mean, I think you're large enough now where you can go to other organizations and broach the idea of partnership. If for nothing else, you know, for the visibility. But I think you offer value to some of the different organizations that people have mentioned, and you have a long track record of success through different things that have happened, you know, socially in the economy and things of that nature. So what you do works and helps people. So I think it's very attractive for people to be kind of connected with that. So yeah, I would consider, you know, developing like some power partners. These are people you can list on your website. And, you know, they're kind of high profile, but they help to raise your visibility. And, you know, you can feed people to their organizations and to their resources. Like they have a lot of resources listed on the website, maybe making that more of a high profile kind of thing that is high visibility for you.
We've considered partnerships, but you all have given me some wonderful ideas as to who to partner with, which has been, I guess, one of our sticking points. So thank you, everybody.
Let's see, Chris Flood. Yeah, you're going to be the last speaker, Chris.
Very good. Well, thank you. I appreciate the presentation. As someone currently in transition who's taken advantage of a lot of CNM has to offer, I'm greatly appreciative of what you all do. I think one of the things that I find in going through a lot of it is identifying things specific to what they are. There's a lot of courses, for example, on LinkedIn, but putting them under one bucket. You know, there are some at night, there are some during the day. Kind of organizing all those providers in those one buckets. I think also this can be overwhelming in today's marketplace. There are so many things that one needs to do job hunting today versus years ago. Before it used to be a phone call and an interview and then maybe a subsequent interview and you're provided a job. Now there is so much more about it. Marketing, branding, interviewing techniques, and what was shared earlier about a newer generation, more the video ideas and podcasts and more of the plug and play. I think the shorter hits are going to attract those people that are not as gray haired as myself. To participate in and engage in that type of environment. Also separately, you know, outreach to the communities has been shared. There's lots of associations and other entities, and that's kind of where my sweet spot is. So I'd be happy to volunteer on an outreach perspective.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Yeah.
So again, I'm connected with John and you know, certainly connect with yourself and be happy to do that while I have a little spare time as well.
Thank you so much. Well, I would love to have everybody connect with me on LinkedIn, and you can always find me at Debbie@careernetworkministry.com. I've listed my personal mobile number. You can always get me by phone, text. And thank y'all so much. I really, really appreciate all this information. Can't wait to go back and share it.
And so Debbie, we have one final question for you. And I guess I'm going to answer that question, Debbie. So what else can 1 Million Cups community help you with today?
I guess if I could, the ideas have been phenomenal and fantastic. And if I could connect with some of you, if you wouldn't mind letting me talk with you to explore these ideas further, I would really appreciate it. But you've been marvelous. I can't tell you the wealth of information and ideas that I've gotten today. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Debbie and for everybody virtual. Thank you so much for your contribution and all of the ideas. What I would say is save the chat. Make sure that you grab it. We will, of course, save it and share it with Debbie. If you didn't get a chance to put your ideas in, or you had some more pop in, please just drop them in chat. I think for us, and I may need you to drop my slides again. For us, what's important to know is the next slide John Foster is going to click through to.
Yep.
You'd think I would know these by heart now.
It's not
moving.
I did a second. There.
So we do have a presenter next week. Alex Mattini will be here presenting Franchise Select. If you know of anybody interested in learning about franchises, or if you just want to hear more about not only his company, but his challenge question, please be sure to join us. Next slide. We would love to have you as an organizer. It's 30-minute meeting on Monday, and then we show up for this meeting. So we really try to keep it light, easy, and not a heavy burden. Even if you can only do it once a month, that's fine. Again, many hands make light work. So let us know if you're interested in being an organizer. Upcoming events, there is a networking event tomorrow that is virtual, Referral Network Alliance. If you have questions or thoughts about that, please drop them in chat. But you can Google Referral Network Alliance BNI and you'll see it. Women's Business Center on August 15th is doing a workshop on how to start your business from 5 to 6:30 p.m. You also have the Ruston Chamber Network Night coming up from 5:30 to 7:30. That is in collaboration with the Dulles Chamber, so that'll be a great event to join. James Lawson, you're welcome. And then do check out FCDA, the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. They have a lot of GovCon events coming up if you're interested in doing work in the GovCon sector. If you have an event that you want to share, by the way, drop it in chat or raise your hand. And if you go back one slide, we do have a couple of upcoming meetings that are available end of August and into September. Remember, September 4th is our in-person hybrid meeting. So if you want to present to a group, we can do that. And the rest are all virtual. You can scan that QR code on this slide or the next slide, and it will give you access to the application link. You can go to the next slide if you want. It will also give you access to all of our social media channels if you'll follow us on that. And there are two applications we do because we are actually trying to keep it simple, although it doesn't sound like it. The first one is just to apply and be in the 1 Million Cup system. The second one, if you fill it out, it automatically creates a PowerPoint. So you do not have to use your own, although Debbie's were fantastic and we're glad we used them today. But again, we try to remove the barrier. So if you have slides, we'll use them. If you're like, I don't know about this whole slide thing, we got you covered, no worries. So again, scan that slide, the QR code, and you can easily apply, easily get your slides created, and we're happy to help you. Next slide. And that's pretty much it. We would love to have you guys join us in person. We'd love to have you come back next week. Please invite a friend. Again, we are trying to get to over 30 people. This can be national too, so don't worry about inviting someone from a different place if they're interested in launching in the DC market. This can be a great way to do that. Thank you, Steve and James and Dan, Lola, everybody for joining. Chris Flood, great to see you. Thanks to Reggie Holmes for joining too. And Marion, we look forward to having you back. Katarina, great to see you, and Deborah as well. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Go entrepreneurs. We're going to save the world. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.